The Bible warns us about people that are hypocritical, double-tongued, double-minded, and that's Bryan Denlinger. Here he is with Eric John Phelps on Jesuit infiltration, and then Bryan Denlinger is going to say, "Oh, I took this video down because."
Coadjutor, okay. Um, on that, as far as I know, you have different terms: Jesuit temporal coadjutor, coadjutor. Okay. Um, would you consider somebody that goes through a Jesuit education, would they be considered a Jesuit, or do you consider them just Jesuit trained?
They're just Jesuit trained and generally working with the order, although they're not a Jesuit. They may profess of the third vow, but they're definitely not of the fourth. So they've never taken any priesthood vows, but they're working for the Jesuits as their agents. Men like Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, every Bollingsman is a Jesuit coadjutor. Every political man.
So again, this is Eric John Phelps, who Bryan Denlinger says is a Jesuit, which he is, and Bryan Denlinger teamed up with him in this video. Again, Masons, Jesuits, any whatever you want to call it, they team up together. That's what they do. They team up together. They cross promote. Sometimes they'll make videos against each other because that's what they do. Because there's no such thing as bad publishment, I guess you could say, or you know, any news is good news, I guess is the way they look at it when you're talking about them. As long as they can get you to talk about them, and bad news gets 2 or 3 times the amount of people to click it and watch it and hear about it than good news does, or people that controversy, I should say. Two people talking about each other. More people are gonna click that video than 2 people getting along. It's just the way the world works. So you'll see a lot of these Jesuits and Jesuit coadjutors, or whatever you want to call them. They'll make a video like Bryan Denlinger does against, like, say, Steven Anderson, and they'll make videos back and forth about each other. When in reality, they're in cahoots with each other. That's the same thing that's going on here with the Bryan Denlinger and the Eric J. Phelps. And
again, Eric John Phelps. I interviewed him years ago. I was on YouTube. I took the interview down because the guy's a total flame.
He took the YouTube down. I took the video down off YouTube after he's done made so many public I don't want to say decorations, dedications, or he's said publicly several times, I should say, that he does not take down videos. YouTube takes them down. So, yeah.
Naming heretic. And he said that anybody that says the King James Bible is word perfect is a heretic. That's what he says. That's what he teaches. And he says that it's God's word, but it needs to be clarified in certain places. He's lost. Okay?
People like that are lost. And sadly, you teamed up with them because you are one of the lost people who are sending other lost people to hell, claiming and pretending to be a man of God, claiming to be a preacher, claiming to understand the Bible and the text and all this type of stuff, and he doesn't understand it the way he tries to portray and make everyone believe. He doesn't understand it like somebody like a Wes Huff does, or somebody like that, someone that's a linguist that's really studied it, someone that really understands and knows what they're talking about. Bryan couldn't sit there and have a debate, or a conversation with those type of people, and be able to, and I couldn't either. So but I don't sit here and pretend and portray myself as some biblical genius and biblical scholar who understands everything, who writes all these books. Okay, and yes, I am qualified to be a preacher. I went to Bible school, so I technically am a preacher because I went to Bible college and I am ordained. So technically, you could look at me like that. However, every day I'm learning. Every day I'm learning more and more. It's always an everyday learning. And if Bryan had a real ministry, he would be putting fruit out every day. And that's what the people that are sending him money, that's what they're sending him money for, is because they want fruit. They want to be fed. Bryan's not feeding them. Bryan doesn't even do live streams to interact with them. He doesn't even invite people. Bryan Denlinger, even though he's a recluse and all this, he could have a thing where, hey, once or twice a year, it doesn't have to be every day, every Sunday, 4 times a week, twice a week, or 4 times a month, whatever, twice a week. It doesn't have to be none of that. It could be once a year, twice a year. Hey, let's get together and have fellowship, brethren. He don't want none of that. He's flat out said if he's not interested in any of that, and if you see him in public, don't approach him, don't talk to him, don't tell him, hey, you've changed my life, hey, this, that, and the other. Don't tell Bryan none of that. He don't want to hear it. He don't want to know it. He don't want to interact with you. He carries a gun on his side because he doesn't trust in the Lord to protect him. So the whole thing, everywhere he goes, he carries a gun. I find that very interesting. Doesn't trust in the Lord to keep him safe, just like he doesn't trust in the Lord to provide. Otherwise, he wouldn't be begging people for money. So, just thought I'd share that with you guys. As Bryan Denlinger was, he got a gold bar up there. Probably a gold bar up there that somebody gave him. So, anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Hope you stay blessed. Hope you're staying in the Word. God bless each and every one of you.